title of this video is 21 Day Challenge because me and my friend Anand have decided to do a specific routine and discipline ourselves for 21 days. So I thought I'd make a video about it and kind of share that with you as well. So before that, I did a little research on discipline, and considering we're the millennial generation, most of the people that watch my stuff and follow me are millennials. I thought that this would be good for us because the thing is, we have serious issues with discipline and self-control and things like that, right? So to have any sort of success, like for any successful person in the world has had discipline, and it's a very important characteristic to cultivate from within, right? In terms of the routine, I'm going to be talking about the routine here in this video, and I will also be posting it on my story as well. And if you find this video quite late, then you can find it on a highlight. I think one of the most recent highlights will have the routine as well. So when it comes to discipline, for me, I realize you can't discipline yourself into doing a job or studying something that you're not interested in, right? Like, you can't force yourself to study a subject you have no purpose towards, or you can't do a job that you don't find joy in, right? So that's one of the first things. So it's about doing what you enjoy doing, and sometimes, like, even doing what you enjoy doing, you need to push a little further from where you're taking action, and push that a little extra in order to achieve those things, right? So the first point is to definitely pick topics or jobs that you want to study, or areas you want to work in, instead of doing things that you don't want to, because then it's not really discipline, but it's more like having to do something rather than wanting to do something. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is to incorporate meditation into your life. So meditation is something, if you practice as part of your routine every day, then it will automatically drive you to being more disciplined in when you take action. So this is like neuroscience, right? So it's organically happening, where you are able to push yourself that extra mile because of meditation. The next, of course, is making it a habit to keep a routine. Of course, take a break from it and change your routine a little, but make it a habit to keep some kind of routine in your life in order to incorporate discipline. But if you have a lot of discipline in your life, maybe then in that situation you need to change up a little bit, or take a vacation, or do something out of your comfort zone. But for people that have problems with discipline, then definitely having a routine is very important. The next thing is when people talk about rewards, right? So suppose in this routine as well, how we've planned it is so that we're doing the more difficult tasks in the morning, and as you go towards the evening in the day, when when you're more tired and things like that, you kind of have more things that are fun to do, right? So that's how we've planned it. So discipline is also personal standards, right? It's having your own personal standards and giving yourself a reason to keep going at what you're going. Like for me, for example, I want to write a book, right? So when I'm writing this book, like today, it was like I wrote for like 15 minutes, and then after that I was like, oh, okay, I've had enough, and I closed my laptop and I went away. And then I did some research on discipline, and I saw that like it's very important that I make it a habit to push myself beyond that limit and spend maybe an extra half an hour and then extend it to 45 minutes of writing and sitting with it and continuing to do that. The next thing is, for example, like suppose it's a bad habit, right, and you want to stop a bad habit. Like for me, I realized that like I don't like drinking. I mean, and I have indulged and things like this. So I've come to this point where I have to, and now when people ask me if I want a drink, then I say I don't drink, you know. So it's like attaching it to your personality. So that's when dealing with discipline and a habit. The next thing is to do the most difficult task the earliest. Like suppose you have to do something that takes a lot of mental energy, then do that at the beginning of the day rather than at the end of the day, because then you'll have more mental energy for it. And then finally, take action every day. So like whatever it is that you want to achieve, take small steps towards it every day, even in the weekends, like whether it's answering emails or you know, doing things that are pushing you beyond that limit, where you even if it's like, say with the example of me writing my book, like if I take like half an hour to sit with my book on the weekends as well, I mean, what harm is that? We have 24 hours in the day, and I choose to spend half an hour focusing on my book, so that's good. So that's all to do with discipline. I think it's so important for our generation to incorporate discipline into our lives. So yeah. So then now with the challenge, so what you would do is wake up in the morning, preferably early, sometime like around 7 in the morning, if it's 6 or 7, between 6 and 7 in the morning, and don't use your phone for 1 hour. Like just leave your phone charging, or take it off the charge and keep it on your bed, and just don't touch it. Like the next thing you will have to do is drink a liter of water, right? So as soon as you wake up, like take a bottle of water and sip at it until it's over. And you can, like at this point, you can like make your coffee or your tea, whatever it is. I like coffee, so I like to wake up in the morning and make coffee, or sometimes I have tea, but mostly it depends actually. I'm not fussy. I like both coffee and tea. So I have that in the morning, and yeah, and then just sip at your water, like just relax. Have your coffee like somewhere open, like if you have a balcony, or if you have a terrace, or if you have a garden, like have your coffee outside and just be in the moment at this point, and just enjoy your coffee and just breathe and be with nature wherever you are. And the next thing you would do is you would exercise, right? So for me, I love to dance, so like playing music for about half an hour or 45 minutes and like just dancing, right? I'm not gonna force myself to, like, of course I could do yoga, but personally I prefer to do yoga like with a teacher. So I prefer to dance for exercise, so that's why I picked dancing. But if you like to do yoga, that's also fine, or lift weights, or whatever it is you do for exercise. And work up a sweat, right? Like you want to exercise so much that you're sweating at this point, and then after you finish exercising, like lie on the floor and just lie in Shavasana. So that is like opening up your palms and like you're like lying down in Shavasana, like flat on the floor or on a mat or even on your bed, and just breathe, right, for about 10 minutes. And just like don't fall asleep at this point, and just breathe. The next thing would be to have a shower and have your breakfast and things like that. And then moving from there, start with your work for the day, whether it's like if you work and study, then you can do your work, whatever's like difficult, whatever you find difficult, you can do that in the morning. And spend about 2 hours, or how much of a time you need, 3 hours even, just focusing on the tasks that have to be completed that take a lot of capacity. Then so by that time it should be around lunchtime, and then you can enjoy your lunch. You can like sit with your family, or sit with your partner, or sit with your whoever you're with, and have your lunch, enjoy your lunch. And then the next thing would be the 3 hours of productivity, that comes after breakfast, and then the lunch, and then meditation. So the next thing you would do is meditation. So when it comes to meditation, there are loads of ways that you can practice meditation, right? So what I do is so it's becoming a discipline. Like my friend Anand, who helped me with this routine, actually, he's been telling me like to sit in meditation like this, and I have weak shoulders, so I tend to slouch like this. So what would be good is to, like, every time I notice that I'm slouching, then I would lift my shoulders, and like, not in a very stressed way, but like in a relaxed way, sit like that with your legs crossed and your hands on your knees, and do a meditation. So you could just close your eyes and focus on your breathing. You could listen to a guided meditation. There are like loads of guided meditations on YouTube, and there are also loads of meditations on apps and stuff like that as well. The next thing is do some spiritual study. Right now everybody's spiritual beliefs are different, and this is one thing that is very important to note, is that I tell my clients this when I do tarot as well, is that every person has their own spiritual understanding, right? So I might be attracted to Teal Swan and think that her videos are like the best spiritual study for me, or Satguru, or Osho, or many others, right? So I might think that spiritual teacher is good for me, but then another person might be attracted to a different kind of spiritual teacher, or different kind of, or get like a book, like for example, one of my friends is reading the astrology of a yogi, right? So they may be attracted to that kind of spiritual study through a book, or you could watch videos. There's so many ways you could do that. So do some amount of spiritual study, and then the next thing you would do is, like, by this point in time, it's time for tea. So have your tea and just relax, and again enjoy your tea. Have your tea and coffee, like just sitting and enjoying the taste of that tea and coffee, and just being in the moment, right? The next thing you would do is like doing things that are like work also, that like, again, you come back to the work. So you do 3 hours of work in the morning, and then you do a few, like another 3 hours if you want 3 hours, 2 hours of work in the evening. And at this point, so then in the evening you would be doing work that is not as strenuous, right? You would do work that is more light, like checking emails or even studying at this point. Like if you work and study, then you do your work in the morning and you study in the evening, and do that for a couple of hours. And then if you can, like, just go for a walk or something, like maybe if like going for a walk could like really ground you and center your energy. So like taking a short walk somewhere, or something of the sort, like you're swimming or doing some activity for sure, like some exercise where you're also and you can also take like your parent with you on this walk, or a friend. You can meet a friend, or you could after you've done that 2 hours of work, you can even go have ice cream with a friend or something like that. And then when you come back from that, it'll be just before dinner time. So just before dinner, it would be good to like read, right? So like just spend some time reading like a chapter of a book, and like get through all those books that you wanted to read and you haven't had the chance to read. And then have dinner and look back at your day, and think about how you think about how you feel from being productive the whole day, and check in with yourself and sleep. Yeah. So that's about it. I'm gonna tag my friend Anant in this video as well, who helped me figure this out and discipline myself this way, and he's also doing the same thing. Actually, I live with my parents, so I find it easier to stick to that routine and find that discipline. But I think people that generally are on their own, everything that they're doing is all about their control and their energy, and it can be more challenging, but it's definitely worth it if you want long-term success and results. Yeah, so that's about it. I will post the routine in my story, so you can follow it there. Thanks. Much love. Bye.